Okay, 0p here today, and there's cooking ingredients in front of us, so it's obvious what I'm going to do. But I'm going to show you a bread, and the reason that I cook this bread is because I am severely, and I can't stress more than that, severely allergic to gluten. And bread flour, wheat flour, so this is gluten-free flour, and it makes a really nice form of focaccia bread, and it's quick. So I thought I'd show you, because I don't know how many people that do prepping are like me, but sometimes you get surprised. But as I say, I can't have gluten in my diet, and I like a bit of bread, especially when I'm outdoors, and I don't want to mess about too much. So what I'm going to show you is the way to make, or the way I make this bread, and using my trusty frying pan come mixing bowl. Right. Obviously my ingredients are scaled down a lot, but I'm in my garden, so give me a break. And I'm going to show you what I do. Now the first thing is I take some of this olive oil, just a little drop, like a little squitch, like that. I spread it using God-given things all over the pan, like so. Give it a good coating. Now, if you was cooking it in your kitchen, you wouldn't bother with this. You wouldn't have to, okay? But there is a reason for doing it. Now, there you have that in the pan, and while I'm at it, I'll put a little dollop of salt in my flour. Now I've got, obviously, there's a mug of flour. I've got a mug of flour, and I'm going to put a pinch of salt to it, and not a lot, you see, just a little bit like that. And I'm going to put that on there. I'm going to put the salt to one side, get it out of shot. Also, the flour, I hope you can see that, what's written on it. I don't know whether you can or you can't, but here you can see it says gluten-free flour, right? You get it from a well-known store, beginning with S, and Jamie Oliver quite likes them. So that's the flour, and the flour is very important. You cannot do it this way with ordinary flour. It will be an absolute disaster, believe me. Right, now the other thing that we need is plenty of water, right? And I'm going to take the flour and I'm going to place it in here, the whole lot straight in. There you go. Right. Shut that up. Bang that down. And over here I have some rosemary. I'm going to chop that up. As you'll see, I'm no Jamie Oliver, but my knife skills aren't that bad, I hope. But I just want to shred this up and make it nice and fine, because this is a really strong herb, rosemary, but it's good to give it that sort of Mediterranean feel, outdoorsy feel if you like, because I really do like this herb, but too much of it is not good for you, so I'm told. But that's going into doctor stuff, and I ain't into that. The rain's coming down pretty pretty well now, and you can't see it. It is raining. I'm hoping it will stop before it makes me flour soggy. Here we go. Right, things are sent to dry us. Just sprinkle that in there like so. Don't worry about the larger bits because they're quite nice. Cut it off a little bit. So twigger. There we go. Put that in there like that. Right, now I I have over here my spoon set, knife fork spoon set. I've had it for years. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my trusty spoon off. I'm going to show you how much olive oil you put in here. Bearing in mind that we did oil the bottom of the pan as well. I'm going to I'm going to basically, this is a very deep spoon as well, if you can see. I'm going to fill the spoon up to about there. Sorry, and pour that in. I'll take that out shot. Get my trusty stirring implement and I'm going to stir that in. I'm just going to whop it around a bit so that it gets amalgamated slightly. Now, having done that, you start adding water, and when you add the water, it's important to remember that this flour is very, very thirsty, very thirsty. So what we're going to do, cut it off. I love these bowls, they're really good. Funky Prepper said use them, and he was right, they are really cool. I'm going to put, you can see, quite a bit of water in there, and you're thinking, well, hang on a minute, what's happening here? Well, believe me, I'm going to have to put some more water in here in a minute, because as I say, this flour is made up out of chickpeas, coconut flour, and other ingredients that are very, very hairy. How can you say? Absorbent. And as you can see, this is coming around, and I'm mixing this up. Now I'm doing this in real time. I'm not messing about, like, and cutting the camera and all this kind of thing. Yeah, what it is what you get. Okay. When I set my cooker up, I'll probably turn it off. But as I say, at the moment, no. You're going to think in a minute I've overdone it with the water. I assure you I haven't. Another thing about this flour, it is a gluten-free, self-raising flour. So obviously it's got raising agent in it, which is probably baking powder. But you've just got to watch the consistency with this, because it will go like I don't know, paste thing. You'll see it hopefully. And the reason I put the olive oil on the bottom of the pan is because it seems to when you're cooking this, it just makes sure that it's the flour's been amalgamated with a fair bit of olive oil. And I don't know why it works, why that little tip works. I haven't got a clue, but I found it out by mistake, and that's how some of the best little tips are found out. And well, all I can say is it's better to do it that way than not. Okay. Now, as you can see, this is looking a little bit like I don't know, cross between a pancake mix and a bread mix at the moment. Now, as I say, I put more. I know I've put a lot of water in here. Okay. But it's very important that you put a lot of water in here. And bearing in mind, if you cook this over a campfire, it's going to be better, because it really likes a lot of heat. A lot of heat. and it does really quickly, and the water sort of turns to steam inside the bread and it puffs up lovely. You know, don't expect something like something that you buy down at Greg's or something like that, because you ain't gonna get that, but you know, fair enough, it'll be all right. Now that's the stages that you go through, and that's the consistency of the bread. Now, I'm going to take these away in a minute, but that's the actual bread done. Now on my little stove, because I'm not going to try and do this on a let's call it hobo stove or anything like that, because I've already done it and it works. Can do it, and in actual fact it's a little bit quicker than this. If you really stoke the fire up and get it going, it's quicker, but I'm not going to muck about with that. I'm going to show you the finished bread, and hopefully you'll like it. Now I'm going to give you a little prop over the top of the pan, like so, and it's going to start cooking in a moment, and hopefully, if I've carried out all the procedures properly, they're my procedures, if I've carried them out properly, this will work, and it's a really nice bread. So just pan that bit down there slowly, and now because it's very windy today, I've put a pot cover on it. You can't see, but it is quite windy, so just to build the heat up, I just done what I would do even if I was in the field. I would just put a cover over the top of it to stop the wind, and now it's roaring away, it's cooking quite well. It smells gorgeous. It's coming up. So in a moment I'm going to turn it. Now I've turned it, as you can see, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to cook it this side and turn it over again and make it a lot darker, but it's better to sort of get the two sides sealed and then the magic starts around. But as you can see, it's raised really well. You can see the bubbles in the surface of the bread where it's cooked. The hot air has risen through it. So I'm going to put the lid back on it and leave it again for a little while, and hopefully when we come back the bread will be done. Now just before I turn this over, I'm going to show you how much it's risen and how it's cracked the surface of the bread. You see like a good crust on there, and it's cracked the surface of it. So it's rising nicely. It never stops rising. You see perhaps up the back more clearly. And yeah, I'm going to turn that over now. And put the lid back on and do some more. Now I've turned it over, and as you can see, that focus, it's risen quite nicely, and the whole procedure has taken about 10 minutes so far. But as I say, with a big roaring fire and a nice skillet pan, you know, you put this on there, it's going to be cooked in a lot less time. But it doesn't hurt to just give it that sort of naan bread finish, if you know what I mean, just before burnt, just to caramelise the sides. And it's really tasty, really nice. turned it again. You see the surface of it is cracking even more now because it's rising all the time basically. And I'll give it another couple of turns and it will be ready for putting out on the table. Now if you look down to the right of this frame, you'll see my #1 fan when it comes to cooking. He's whenever there's any food about, he's there, waiting patiently. Oh, he's decided to go and lay down now. I think he knows I'm talking about him. But I have just got a really nice waft of the rosemary and the thing, and I'm going to turn it over. Now that's what I mean about that naan bread singeing, you know, that lovely sort of nearly burnt but not, and you can smell it happening, you know. You got to keep an eye on it obviously, but can you see how high that bread has risen now? And it really is very tasty. So I'm going to just cover it up again for a little while. Now I'm going to show you the unveiling of the bread, and there it is. Put that out of the way. I'm really pleased with the way it's come out, and I'm going to get one of my knives and slice it. Sorry about that slight hitch. Now, if you came to this, I hope you can see that. It's gorgeously risen. It's not doughy. It's got nice bread. It's nice and moist. It's absolutely beautiful. Beautiful bread. The best thing to do with this is to give it a slight dusting, your individual portion is, a slight dusting of salt. That's for my taste, just a little bit, not a lot, and a little drizzle of olive oil over the top of it. As you can see, that's extra virgin olive oil. That's dripping down the side of that really nicely. And I am now going to taste. And I don't normally do this, but just to show you I am eating it and not spitting it out. Hopefully you can see me. How's that? Hopefully. Now, I'm going to stand back. I'm going to eat this. Oh, I have no idea how nice that is. And you can hear, I hope, the crunch of that. Really nice crust on it. Beautifully moist inside. Nice drizzle of olive oil. The taste of fresh rosemary is absolutely outstanding. It really is a good bread. And it's quite simple. Very few ingredients. There's no messing about with butter or stuff like that, or eggs or anything really. It's just good old-fashioned water and some olive oil. I apologise for my voice today, going up and down, but what I have wrong with me, one of the things, is to do with my throat, and it goes up and it goes down. It's not serious, but it makes me sound like Winston Churchill one minute and Fozzie Bear the next. So I apologise for that, but I hope you enjoyed the video, and I enjoyed making it and I'm enjoying eating it. So 0p, thanks for watching. I'll see you later. Hello, I'm back, just as a footnote, just to show you, because people are going to ask me, did he get any? Answer is, don't call them springers for nothing, do they? There you go. He did. And not a lot, but that's enough. He's happy. Anyway, once again, 0p, thanks for watching. Also with this bread, if you add a teaspoonful of mixed spice, a handful of raisins, and a handful of desiccated coconut, and leave out obviously the rosemary and the salt, just a pinch of salt and as much sugar as you like, you will be pleasantly surprised. It is amazing. It's like hot cross buns. It's brilliant. So there's two ways of doing it. There's more than two ways of doing it. There's myriads of ways of doing it, but that's just two I've mentioned. So hope you like that. See you later.